Today, I'm going to tell you a story about Carl Frederick Gauss. He was a very famous mathematician, and he's still famous now because we use his work all the time. But this story is about when he was a young boy. So he was born to a poor family, just a normal working class family, and he used to help his father with maths even from the age of 3. He'd correct his father's mistakes. But he grew up and he went to school, and when he went to school, one of his lessons, his teacher decided to get everyone in the class to add up the numbers from 1 to 100. They had an hour to do it. And the teacher started, and all the boys took out their slates which they used to write on, and Carl spent a minute, maybe, and he put it down on the teacher's desk and said, "There it is." And the teacher thought, And the other boys, they worked for the hour. They added, and they summed, and they grouped things together, and they worked, and they worked, and they worked, and they put their slates down on the teacher's desk, and they piled them on, and piled them on. And then the teacher started to check the work at the end. Some of the boys were right, some of the boys were wrong. When he got to the bottom of his pile of slates, there was Carl's answer, the boy who had done it in mere moments, and the answer was right. But how did he do that? Why was he so fast when all the other boys took so long to do it? What trick did he have? I'm going to show you today one of the ways that he might have done it. So let's look at the sum that Carl wanted to do. I wanted to do 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus, and we keep going all the way, keep adding up the numbers all the way to plus 99 plus 100. What is that equal to? Now, that's going to be a lot of numbers to have. Let's try doing this with just a few numbers to start with. Let's see what happens if we go from 1 all the way, but only to 10. Maybe from that we can figure out how to work out 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way to 100 easily. So let's start. So what we want to do is we want to add up 1. So let's get a 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well, what's the easy way to add all of these up? We're just going to count them. It's only 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. 55. Well, that is easy. But to 100, I'm not sure I'm going to have enough breath to go all the way to 100. Maybe there's an easier way instead of just counting them. What can I do? Well, let me make things a little bit easier to work with here first. Let's just see. You see this? This is 1 to 10, just like we have here. If we make this, put these right next to each other, you'll see that this is the same. So just to make it easier to work with, there's my 1 to 10, my 55. And just swap it out for this. I know this looks like stairs, but what else does it look like? It looks a little bit like a triangle too, hey? Well, maybe it is just like a triangle. And what do we know a triangle's half of? A rectangle? You're right, a rectangle. So let's make up the rest of our rectangle. We put 1, and then 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Oh, now we have a rectangle. Let's quickly just put the numbers here too. So 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. So what do those all add up to each row? Well, 10 plus 1 is 11. 9 plus 2 is 11. 8 plus 3, 11. I'm guessing you know what 7 plus 4 is by now. 11. And 6 plus 5 is 11. 5 plus 6 is 11. And 7 plus 4 is 11. And 8 plus 3, it's 11. And 9 plus 2 is 11. And 10 plus 1 is 11. There's our rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 11s. So we have 10 rows of 11. And how much are we trying to add up here? We just want this half. Hey, look at this. Here's another one of these. Exactly the same. And what is this? That's exactly it. So if we only want to know this many, how would we figure that out? So let's go back to our sum now. So now we know that we have 10, 11 times, which is very easy to work out. But we also know that we only want half of that. So there's our half that we want, 55. Remember earlier we counted 55? So now we know how to get for the sum of all the numbers from 1 to 10. What happens if we want to add up all the numbers from 1 to 100? Well, we know that for 10, we wanted to do 10 times the 10 plus 1. And then we want to divide that all by 2. So for 100, let's first work out the size of our rectangle. Because if we have this, and we just keep going on, make it longer and longer and longer and longer, eventually we'll get to 100. We can make up another rectangle. We know that half of that rectangle will give us the sum of all of these. So let's see how big our rectangle will be. It'll be 100 times by, remember, it is 10 plus 1. So now 100 plus 1, or We can write that as well as 101. So what's 100 times 101? It's 10,100. And now if we want to, now we say 10,100 divided by 2 is equal to 5,050. And that took us mere moments, just like Carl. So let's just see how this works for any number. So we know that 10 times by 10 plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 55. And we also know that 100 times by 100 plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 5,050. And if we look at our steps, our triangle, we know that any other number between there, or any other number past that, will always be the number times by the number plus 1 divided by 2. So we can say, instead of using 10 or 100, we can say, well, the number we want to work out is n. And we know that it's always n, the number we want to work out, times by the number plus 1 divided by 2. And that will give us the sum of all the consecutive numbers up to that number. And there you go. The way we normally write this in maths is we would write n times by n plus 1 over 2, or divided by 2. And that's the formula. So now you know the formula. But what if you forget it? Always remember the rectangle. Always remember that it's a rectangle. If you can picture the rectangle, you can go, it's the number times by the number plus 1 and just half of that. So to remember Carl's trick, to remember his formula, to remember how to get the sum of all the consecutive numbers to any number, it's the number times by the number plus 1 and then half of that.